Hello everyone, Jul here. It's been a while since we talked about new roguelike games, so I think it's time for us to continue the series by showcasing more new and upcoming games in 2024. Knowing that it is a mix between new and upcoming games, I don't think I can give a proper ranking system to this list, so I hope you can enjoy this video more as references than focusing on which game is the best or better. Before we dive into the list, I want to say thank you to 13Z for sponsoring this video. 13Z is an upcoming hack-and-slash roguelike action-adventure that is inspired by the legends of the 12 Eastern Zodiacs. In this game, you are the plucky underdog fighting for celestial glory. You can master diverse characters like Fox Swordswoman, Bird Ninja, and even Brawler Panda, each having their own unique abilities and playstyle. You can also unlock powerful modifiers, scrolls, upgrades, and new playable characters, which means there's a lot of replayability in this game. And as if that wasn't enough, the game also features a co-op mode up to 4 players. If you're a lucky guy that magically know how to make friends, well, this game is a perfect choice for you. 13Z has just launched its first ever global playtest on Steam, and if you love action roguelike like me, seriously do not miss this opportunity. Knowing that it is a playtest, of course, you will expect more content like additional gameplay features, new upgrades, enhanced graphics, and more characters will be added into the game in the future. And if that doesn't excite you, well, I don't know what will, because the playtest already has a decent amount of content and quality in my opinion. Not to mention that it is a third-person hack-and-slash roguelike, which means it will be a fresh addition to the genre itself, especially since most great action roguelikes are using 2D or side-scrolling perspective. So what are you waiting for? Go check out the link in the description below and prepare yourself to the mind-blowing Zodiac trials and become the best animal spirits in the universe. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Megaloot is a roguelike that puts you in the unique role of an RPG adventurous accountant, offering a fresh take on dungeon crawling with complex item management and strategy. Right from the start, you choose a character, each with a distinct class. What makes Megaloot interesting is that you can alter your character mid-fight, and dying twice means game over, pushing you to aim for a high score while managing equipment effectively. Peglin is essentially what you would get if Peggle and a roguelike dungeon crawler had a crossover, and it's just as cool as it sounds. The levels are entertaining, the battles blend strategy and luck, and the weapons and items are refreshingly unique. However, if you're used to games like Vampire Survivors, which are packed with unlocks and progression systems, Peglin might feel a bit light in comparison. Still, the gameplay is highly enjoyable and there's a definite just one more go vibe into it. Hive Jump to Survivors is a bullet-heaven action roguelite where you face endless hordes of alien bugs armed only with a jetpack, a gun, and your sheer determination. The objective is straightforward: survive 14 waves and take down the boss. As the waves progress, you will encounter more enemies and new enemy types. The gameplay is similar to Vampire Survivors in that your weapons fire automatically, and if you set up the right build, you can even stand still and let the enemies run into their doom. Lost Castle 2 is a 2D beat-em-up roguelite where the goal is simple: fight your way through 5 different worlds, each guarded by one of several possible bosses. And as you clear rooms, you are rewarded with items or currency, and then you choose which level to tackle next. The deeper you go, the more options open up, including various weapons, armor, and color-coded items tied to red, blue, or green. The co-op mode also adds an extra layer of fun, allowing players to trade items and strategize their builds together. Fairy Tail Dungeons is a game that offers a fast-paced, enjoyable experience for fans of roguelite deck-building games and Fairy Tail franchise. The gameplay revolves around a deck of cards, starting with a mix of attack and defense cards. The game gives you a heads up on what your enemies are planning, whether it's an attack or a buff, allowing you to strategize accordingly. Some enemies also prepare high damage moves that require specific counteractions, which adds an extra layer of challenge. Dungeons & Degenerate Gamblers is a twisted blackjack-inspired take on the classic D&D format, where the thrill of gambling gets dialed up to reckless levels. Instead of just betting chips, you are wagering your health in a high-stakes battle of cards, luck, and risk. At its core, the game sticks to blackjack's fundamentals. You must get as close to 21 as possible without going over. And if your opponent beats your score, you lose health. But here's the kicker, if your opponent busts, you can choose to keep drawing cards and deal damage based on your total score. Demon's Mirror is a game that sets out to put its own spin on the roguelike deck building formula. In most deck builders, energy is the key limitation that prevents you from playing every card in your hand at once. However, in Demon's Mirror, you have to not only manage your card energy, but also deal with the grid-based combos. Moreover, the game offers modifiers that can make the experience more forgiving, like adding extra energy each turn or reducing enemy health. These modifiers are a nice touch, allowing players to tweak the difficulty to fit their playstyle. Koboo the Tree Spirit is a visually stunning and deeply atmospheric game that blends 2D Souls-like combat with the immersive pixel art worlds and epic boss battles similar to Shadow of the Colossus. The game embraces the punishing yet rewarding roguelike structure seen in titles like Dead Cells, offering tons of customization and discovery to keep each run fresh and engaging. Each weapon has its own upgrade path, and whether you prefer fast-paced close combat or long-range methodical strikes, the game provides enough flexibility to experiment and specialize. Necroking is a surprisingly engaging roguelite deck builder that puts you in the shoes of a necromancer, commanding skeletons and other monstrous units to plunder and conquer. In this game, you place your units in one of 4 spaces, where they clash with enemies appearing from the right side of the screen. Your goal is to protect your necromancer or defeat the enemy boss. Each unit behaves differently. Melee fighters charge forward, while defensive units hold their ground. It sounds simple, but as you progress, battles become more complex, requiring careful consideration of positioning, timing, and unit synergies. Invader is a fast-paced action roguelite where you play as a hacker breaking into massive corporate servers. Justifying the roguelike formula, every time you die, you come back stronger. And since it's all in cyberspace, there's no real-life harm in failure. The mix of builds, weapons, and perks lets you shape your playstyle, and the various difficulty settings ramp up the challenge in fun ways. It's the kind of game you can jump into for quick 15-minute sessions, but its variety keeps pulling you back for more. Before we go further, there are some additional games that I think should also be on your radar. First, we have Arcane Blast. It is a fast-paced action roguelite that is emphasizing magician action than your typical hack-and-slash combat. The game has a third-person perspective, which is a fresh take on the genre, and while the mechanic can be a bit clunky at times, the gameplay design still works the way it intended to. I just hope they can give us more builds, monster variations, and bosses in the future. Next, we have Feed the Deep. While most roguelike trying their best to be the smoothest fast-paced action game, This game fortunately doesn't share the same vision with those games. Feed the Deep is a compulsive Lovecraftian roguelike inspired by the likes of Domekeeper and Spelunky. Each level has its own challenges and puzzles for you to work through, and while it's not the most content-packed quantity-wise, I would say they're pretty polished in terms of quality. Nightfall Comes is a roguelite action game set in the dark post-apocalyptic world. The story follows 4 unique characters drawn to a mysterious castle, each motivated by personal reasons. The game's map is filled with branching routes, and after completing one with a character, you will uncover clues that lead to new areas. While the game features helpful markers, you still need to stay alert and search for hidden paths and secrets. This keeps exploration from feeling too straightforward, encouraging observation as you navigate the world. Knock on the Coffin Lid is a dark fantasy roguelike that combines turn-based card combat with a gripping narrative. In this game, each run teaches you something new, and while the initial tutorial might set you up for a loss to emphasize the roguelike aspect, it's all part of the learning curve. The game allows you to check your enemy's target and their card effects, which allows you to plan your moves accordingly, whether to fortify your defenses or go on the offensive. Northhold Origins is a tower defense game that's perfect for strategy buffs looking for depth and replayability. Set in a medieval Nordic village, it blends tactical gameplay with economic management. However, the tower building aspect is where the game truly shines. You can choose from 5 distinct towers, each with its own set of abilities and customization options. And with over 80 custom upgrades available, you will have countless ways to enhance and tweak your towers. Shogun Showdown is a game that adds a fresh twist to the roguelite genre by blending turn-based combat with deck-building elements. The lack of dialogue or detailed narrative might disappoint those seeking a rich story. However, the combat is where the game truly shines. It employs an action-based system where each move you make is countered by an enemy action. The game also allows you to make complex combinations, capable to handle multiple enemies at once, but you must be mindful of the cooldowns to avoid being left vulnerable. Before we look at the number 1, let's hit a quick break with some bonus games again. First, we have Catbait. Catbait is a casual game that is inspired by Vampire Survivors and Brotato. However, unlike those games, you'll not fight the hordes by your own. Instead, you get Helper that provides a lot of unique perks in battle, like slowing the enemies, additional AoE damage, and many more. The game's still on early access, so there will be lots of improvement in the future, but I would say the game is already enjoyable even in the current state. Looks like we will never run out of Vampire Survivors-like games, but as long as it's fun, I mean, why not? That being said, it doesn't mean this game is a complete copycat. Call of Sentinels adds a significant twist to the gameplay design by emphasizing the bullet hell challenges and smooth action movement. Think of it like a fusion of Hades and Crimson Lands combat, but with a Vampire Survivors twist that lets you unleash a whirlwind of abilities and customize your build to an extreme. Shoulders of Giants is a pretty wild game. Again, this is another third-person action roguelike, which is a good thing since we need more 3D roguelike game. This game has a similar feeling to Risk of Rain 2, and by that, I mean this is also a fun and exciting co-op game. I love how they prioritize the action more than the build hunting aspect, which is a great alternative if you're kinda tired with the build optimization experience of Risk of Rain 2. Snezhinka Sentinel Girls 2 is a twin-stick shooter where you play as a fixed-term contract employee at a private military company, battling waves of hostile mechs in a 2.5D dystopian world. As Najinka, you must use your limited salary to purchase cards and upgrade your combat skills. These enhancements are crucial as you face increasingly powerful enemies. The game also offers a straightforward control scheme. You will move, aim, shoot, and use gadgets with ease, making it accessible for both casual and dedicated players. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other great new roguelike games that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best new roguelike games that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace.